My name is Janice Litvin. I'm on a mission to help organizations get their people healthy, happy, and productive at work. Why am I doing this work? Because I myself was unhealthy, unhappy, and after several years, I have figured out ways to overcome these challenges. And I love helping other people find their motivation for behavior change. So today, I'm talking about emotional intelligence. Why am I talking about it? Because without it, you cannot manage yourself or your teams effectively in an organization. Also, according to the World Economic Forum Future of Jobs report, emotional intelligence will be more critical than technical skills in 2020 and on in the decade. Furthermore, according to the Harvard Business Review, one company with a critical mass of emotional intelligence at the leadership level outperformed yearly earning goals by 20%. So let's jump right in. You've probably seen a lot of articles about emotional intelligence lately, and my information comes from a couple of sources: Harvard Business Review and Association for Talent Development, incorporated with my own experience. So what exactly is emotional intelligence? Well, it's composed of 5 skill sets: self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. Let's start with the first one, self-awareness. As the name implies, it means knowing your own strengths and weaknesses, your drives, your value, and your impact on other people. Let me give you an example. A software engineering manager knows that interruptions will impact his schedule throughout the day. So what does he do? He schedules in those interruptions as blocks of time on his calendar. Number 2 is self-regulation, which means controlling disruptive impulses, emotions, and moods. Here's an example. A sales team comes back from a big important sales call where they lost the deal. What does the manager do? Does she get really angry and berate people and criticize? Or does she sit down with them, engage in her logical mind, and take a look at what happened, what were the steps leading up to the loss, and what they can do in the future? The third skill is motivation. In this context, it means being driven to achieve for the sake of achievement. I call that intrinsic motivation, as opposed to being motivated by external factors like salary. You have a passion for your work and a commitment to the organization. So here's an example. Let's say you have a major setback or defeat, but rather than letting negativity and self-doubt get you down, you stay focused on the future and keep an optimistic point of view. The fourth piece of emotional intelligence is empathy, which means understanding other people's feelings really deeply, really feeling the other person's feelings, being a good listener and really understanding them. It means thoughtfully considering their feelings while making your business decisions. Here's an example of empathy. A manager notices that someone on her team just doesn't seem himself. He seems a little moody and his work is beginning to suffer. So how does she handle that? The best way is to take him aside and sit and talk privately and say, "Hey Joe, I notice your work is suffering and I notice you just don't seem yourself lately. Is there someone you'd like to talk to at work? You can talk to me, you can talk to HR, you can talk to EAP, or we can try to help you by changing your schedule, or even if you need to go out on disability for a short period of time." But she keeps an empathetic, kind, listening ear. The fifth skill is social skills. As the name implies, it has to do with managing your relationships and building rapport with other people so you can influence them to your point of view. You are persuasive, you have an extensive network, and you can lead change. Here's an example of social skills. Let's say a manager in her department wants to set up a wellness group. So she gathers people together to create an informal group which gets people moving more, eating right, and practicing mindfulness. She gets other managers together to do the same in their group, and then after a period of time, they gather their data and their statistics and present it to upper management, showing the enhanced productivity, reduced absenteeism, and how much happier their employees are. And they effect change. So just to reiterate, we talked about the 5 skills of emotional intelligence: self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. Now, these skills come naturally to some people, but not everybody. And even if you do think you're very skilled in emotional intelligence, nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. Sometimes we say something we wish we hadn't, or we use the wrong tone of voice. So why is emotional intelligence important? Because in order to manage your teams, you must realize that your people are not little machines on an assembly line. They're humans with human emotions. And you need to keep in mind that your people are your greatest asset. And without them, the organization would not thrive. And that to inspire and motivate them to be their best, you need to tap into their human desires and motivation. Navigating human emotions does not come naturally to everyone, so it's important that new managers be measured or trained in emotional intelligence before they are promoted. And here are 3 skills to enhance that emotional intelligence: recognition, regulation, and co-regulation. Recognition is the ability to recognize what you are feeling and determine its root cause. By the way, in my Banish Burnout program, this is the first step. This is exactly what we do. We analyze our behavior patterns and we figure out how they got there, and then we change them. The second piece was regulation. That means when you are feeling out of sorts, you want to maintain your emotional equilibrium, keeping in mind how you want to be perceived. The third is co-regulation, which is your ability to regulate your emotion as you're supporting others. The main thing I want you to remember is that new skills do not happen overnight. They take awareness, education, and practice. If you need help working on your emotional intelligence skills, ask someone in your organization to get together and talk. Maybe set up a mastermind or approach your lean-in circle so that you can all improve. Thank you for watching. I'm Janice Litvin. If you found value in these ideas, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, visit my website, janicelitvin.com, and also please connect with me on LinkedIn. I'd love to know your thoughts. Thanks again.